I invite you to turn in your Bibles to the first chapter of Romans. We will be focusing specifically on verse 16, but let's read verses 8 through 17. First, I thank God through Jesus Christ for all of you, because your faith is proclaimed in all the world. For God is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit in the gospel of His Son, that without ceasing I mention you, always in my prayers, asking that somehow, by God's will, I may now at last succeed in coming to you. For I long to see you, that I may impart to you some spiritual gift to strengthen you. That is, that we may mutually be encouraged by each other's faith, both yours and mine. I do not want you to be unaware, brothers, that I have often intended to come to you, but thus far have been prevented, in order that I may reap some harvest among you, as well as the rest of the Gentiles. I am under obligation both to Greeks and barbarians, both to the wise and to the foolish. So I am eager to preach the gospel to you also are in Rome. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes, both to the Jew first and to the Greek. For it is the righteousness of God that is revealed from faith for faith, as it is written, the righteous shall live by faith. If there was a man who had reason to be ashamed of the gospel, it was Saul of Tarsus. As we see in Acts chapter 8, Saul approved the stoning of Stephen, the first Christian. He then went into the homes of these so-called radical Christ followers and terrorized them. Yet, because of the grace and love of God the Father, Saul was awakened to the truths of the gospel in Jesus Christ in Acts 9. After Saul's conversion, it was hard for the original disciples of Jesus to accept him. After all, can you blame them? Here is a man who once persecuted the church, and now he was claiming to be one of them. As we read in the book of Romans, Paul is writing to the church of Rome. Paul wants to come see them, as stated in verse 11, but so far he's been unable to. Paul understood that not only can God use him to encourage the church in Rome, but that the Romans believers can also encourage him. His eagerness to reach the church to encourage, edify, and strengthen believers there. And this is done by the preaching of the gospel.